Welcome back to the Titanium Hangar. Welcome to day 3 of news, the third day of news in a row because of Sdcc, and there's a lot going on and a lot of wallets crying out in pain. like Alderaan. Like on Alderaan. Anyway, this is Unicron. Sort of. Lots more news. We're going to go through this. I'm going to touch through it really fast. I haven't talked anything about Transformers because there really wasn't a ton of stuff. There's stuff, but it's not a lot. A lot of it we've already sort of known about. Some of it we didn't. It was just really different, but we'll get into all of that. This picture is from Toys Walker from the ACG Hong Kong show. I'm going to start real quick. Dino's getting made. I somehow left it out of yesterday's video. I even have it in my clickbait thumbnail, but they're making them, but they don't know if they're going to make more unless there's enough interest. They won't make Wilma and Betty and then the kids and stuff, but Dino is coming. Fruity Pebbles. We'll talk a little bit about wrestling. There's some stretchy arm. No, not stretchy arm. No, there's the LJNs. Yeah, the old LJN style figures continuing. Also, that's not in that picture. There's some other weird stuff. Syndicate Collectibles making this. This is kind of niche. A lot of horror type of stuff they're working on. This was curiosity to me, like what's next to Inspector Gadget, and it turns out it's Mad Hatter with his wave 2 of his Flipor, flippin' Flipor. We've got more updates from Jada for their Incredibles line, and there's a lot more, whole lot more. Just kind of giving you just a touch of what's going to have to happen in this video, but I'm not going to rehash everything. No. I'm trying not to rehash everything I've already talked about because I got 2 other videos. Then He-Man going in a new direction with what's a really cool looking Sky Sled, and but I'm going to do my darndest to fight off this line. We'll touch on the Joe a little bit more. Not everything Joe, but this mostly because I got a better picture. And then there's some Star Wars stuff going on. We will cover the Star Wars. There's a lot of stuff coming up. Starting out with what is new at Showsy's store. Well, everything old is new again and then on clearance. I can't make this up. So there was a time where everybody wanted the big load long haul MX46, and it's like I can't find it anywhere. It's going for double on eBay. Then they reissue it. Now it's on sale for $105, cheaper than I paid. But hey, if you still need this figure to build up your Devastator for extra translots, or just to use him as your bot mode, which is what I'm gonna do. I did touch on this on my Friday video, but Fans Toys FT50A Lord Zarek Fast Track set of 2, $30 down. Don't know the price. I mean, it's probably so many years out. It's not like you're really gonna have to worry about the price now. That $30 is going to help you in the future. That's going to be one of Future Mike's less problems, I guess. And then we've got New Age doing the H80EX Spock Perceptor EX version. So this EX version is the toy version, the shinier one, and moi. I did pre-order this myself. Actually, like everything I've talked about today, I either already own or I'm pre-ordering it and getting it. But I go with the EX because I like that look better, and it's usually more vibrant. And then they've got a standard one also if you're interested in that. But I'm not going to go into a whole lot with this today. All right, Masterpiece news. Not a lot of news. I did a little bit of digging. There's not a lot going on right now, which is fine because Sdcc dominates with that respect for Transformers and everything else. The box for Varak, which is Zarak, which X-Transbot's is going to be the first out the gate with this. And with that, I'm definitely in on it. I'm definitely getting it. And then 3 years from now, we can see how the Fans Toys one turns out. It's almost hilarious. Like, this is the big reveal from Fans Toys in the last TFCon. And then X-Transbots is getting closer to getting theirs released. And so when the box comes, then so do other things coming shortly after that. And then this next thing, I don't even know where you can get it. People get mad at me when I say that. I don't know where you can get it, but it's the Wei Shuang W8020 KOS MP44 via Shin 2 Toy Box on Weibo. Now, I'm fascinated by this because I'm curious how much easier it is to transform when it's 12 inches. Is it easier? Is it harder? I'm curious about that. I'm actually a little fascinated by that. But it's just crazy they would pick the 44 2K oversized. Well, I guess not. I mean, everyone wants to knock off. They want to knock off the old Takara. Or Takara is getting a kickback. Something. But here goes the front. And it's another week under the Prime, of course. Can't pass up an opportunity. A Prime opportunity. Talk about Optimus Prime. And we've got some pictures of the Takara Transformers Missing Link C12 Grimlock via Wabukida on X. Got the hands on this. That's how he scales next to, I guess, a Diaclone figure, something along those lines. But here is the shocking part. You will be shocked what it looks like in alt mode. Exactly like the G1. In fact, the alt mode looks so spot on to the G1. That is impressive. That is impressive to get the added articulation, which I don't know exactly what all it's got extra, but I assume it's got quite a bit. But I look forward to getting this one. This is one. So Masterpiece is my number one favorite. I would say this Missing Link is my second favorite. I was actually going to complete my G1 collection, and this is more fun, and it's at a slower pace than I was going to go. Hey, by the way, if you pre-ordered Delta Magnus from Shozi, you're going to be getting that shipping very soon. I paid for mine, and mine's, I think it's on the way. I do believe it's on the way. Because I was looking at this blue one, and I was like, hey, I don't have the blue one yet. Oh, it's on the way. Blue Prime. So, Rising Force RF CL1 Snatch the Space Monkey is in production. And there you go. That's what's going on there. And I look like all my tabs are like leading me towards Hasbro. Kang Toys, Grand Spino and Trucerus. Masterpiece Dinobots Volcanicus prototypes. That's what they look like. I have a couple of these. And Kang Toys, it's completely reimagined and going in their own direction, doing a whole lot of extra stuff. You're doing too much. No, not really, but it's pretty impressive what they've accomplished here. The aesthetic's not really what I go for myself personally, but I can still enjoy it. I don't want to say from far, because I have some of them. Robosin, flagship, fallen leader, Optimus Prime. Dead Optimus Prime. Well, you gonna spend $1,000 so he can just lay there dead? No, he does all the same stuff. Limit to 1,000. They're only gonna make 1,000 in North America. But I'm just curious, how many of y'all that have the Robosin use it at least once a week? Is it a party trick when your friends come over? Do you take it to work? I'm curious because the people that I know that own it say that after about 30 minutes they just got bored with it or like stopped messing with it, and they don't go back to it very often. So I'm just curious. So at the ACG, it's a collectibles game Hong Kong show. There's some YOLO Park showing their stuff, strutting their stuff, and I don't feel like this had any new reveals, but I could possibly be wrong. I feel like more of it is like showing updates to stuff they've started to show, like right here, there's a Sentinel Prime, stuff like that. I feel like is what most of what's going on at this event. But still, I think Yellow Park does great work. And there it is. And I think that they are as true to the original source material as they possibly can be. And so for that, that's what I like the most about them and their products. So I'm going to dive into kind of the biggest news as the Hasbro's news that we have. Now, I might have missed it, but Age of the Prime Studio Series, Scorn, Titan class Scorn. One of my questions was when they said they're going to do all the Dinobots and they're going to do them in Titan, like, are a couple of them smaller like this going to be Leader? And no, it's Titan. I don't have a price on it, but yeah, that's, to me, that's, I don't want to say excessive. Okay, I want to say excessive. It's very expensive. It's going to be very expensive unless they have flexibility in the price point and all of that, but I can't honestly tell you if that matches the source material or not. Now, because things are in certain order, I'm going out of order with this, but we'll see it again. I wanted to see the bot mode, so you can see the bot mode. I expect that the heights match up to where this is how tall this is. I don't know, though. Like, is that the actual height of the bot versus the height of the dino? There it is. I mean, and these are usually big deals. My only concern about them doing all of these is when will we get a Metroplex? Because I'm down for a G1 Metroplex. Now, before we really dig into the Sdcc stuff, I want to showcase this. This is the Hong Kong show, Toys Walker. I use this as the cover picture. And it looks phenomenal. This display is outstanding. I almost might steal some ideas here for my display. I'm actually rebuilding my mask display. It's going to take forever. Absolutely forever. But this is, I love this kind of stuff. I love how it's all just for show in one show. But I love how they have the Rock and you got the Ark and stuff coming out of it. All the characters coming out of it. And I don't collect a lot of the Hasbro. I love their dinos, and I'm gonna compliment a lot of the stuff that we should talk about today. But the truth is that they look fantastic, and they've done a good job. And then if you integrate it into stuff like this, and there's a lot of flexibility with it, tearing apart your Magnus, which I don't own that version of Ultra Magnus, so I didn't know you could do that. So I might have seen it on the video, but I just forgot. If you don't own stuff, you just kind of see it in passing, and oh, that's cool. You generally forget it, but if you own it and you handle it, you remember it a little bit better. Still phenomenal. The Rock, the Seekers, and all this good stuff. Devi. Unicron stuff going over there. So, and then I guess this is a different area where they were showcasing the combiners. There is a picture coming up. I'm trying not to be too redundant on showing the news stuff, but then here's this. I think this is the HasLab. Is this the HasLab? A HasLab. There will be another Transformer HasLab. So although G.I. Joe's canceled there's not one for Marvel Legends. There's also, I do believe there's also going to be a Star Wars HasLab, but I'm not 100% sure on that. But 100% certain there will be a Transformers one because they have lower price points. They're not $350. They're like, $250, $299. They always sell well. They do well. They perform well. Nobody told me that, but that's exactly why I know. All right, you ready for this? This is the Comic-Con stuff now, and I've already showed a little bit of their display, but Sdcc blaster cassettes, gem holograms, great. If you like it, get it. Go get it. And I didn't check to see if it's sold out or even up yet. I did hear, and I'll have to get the Joe, but I hear that the Joe stuff and a lot of that Sdcc stuff is going to be at noon on Monday, July 10th. That's what I'm hearing. So we'll find out that for sure. Just checked. Okay, yes, all of them. The Gem, Transformer, and then the other, it's like a smaller Optimus Prime and Jazz cereal thing is all that still got 15 days to go. So the 10th at noon on Monday. What I'm hearing or seeing, actually. Okay, so this is something new. Monster Jam, Megalodon, and El Toro Loco. El Toro Loco. So what these are easy transformations. They go from monster truck to figure and part of Monster Jam. So cool idea, looks good. Something that we really haven't seen them do before. And targeting kids, so don't go, oh, they're very rudimentary looking. They're supposed to be targeting kids and trying to keep this line going for kids. Also, the benefit of keeping the line going for kids is the fact that price point should be lower. I didn't check the price point on these, but price point should be reasonable on this stuff, right? I hope these aren't $30. Clear Walmart exclusives with the Cybertronic and Cybertread. The early pictures that showed up, and I didn't know what was going on with it. Now we know it's Walmart Con. I believe you can order them there right now. But if they, I'm hoping they show up at the store too. I'm not going to order these. I don't want to use Walmart's site. But if I see them in the store, I might pick one of them up. Because they're pretty cool molds. The molds are good. They're decent. They're old. They dusted them off. I've got the Megs and the Optimus. Well, the Megatron I'm not fond of. The Optimus, they actually made a whole TV series using that Optimus. And then there was high-end collectibles made based on that design. It's quite fascinating, that era that we lived through. It is quite fascinating. Then we got fan channel exclusive, the Activate Your Alt mode. This, I remember when they were like taking polls of what should Shockwave turn into, or what do you want to see him, which characters do you like to see turn into something different. So Shockwave turns into Will. That's the point. Which kind of makes sense because he's an upside down submarine, meaning a laser blaster. Because someone somewhere might actually think your purple toy laser blaster was a real gun. So they had to make an upside down submarine. Now it's a whale. It all makes sense. It rhymes. Then this is a kind of an out of left field release. This van sort of resembles those ones back in the 70s where they would just kind of brand anything on it, like a Star Wars on the side or whatever. I know the Star Wars ones, I had them. But there's all kinds of different stuff they would brand on the side. Plus, it looks like it could be an A-Team crossover. So would it be BA? Would it be the van to BA? Or would it be a van and then all the different heads and just... It could be Face. It could be Murdoch. It could be Hannibal. How would they do that? You know? But, anyway, Energon Universe. Shredhead. And, I got another picture. When I first saw it, I saw this picture, I thought, okay, this is kind of like a He-Man thing. It's just, I think it's a generic sword and sorcery wizard kind of thing on the side myself. But a lot of He-Man stuff going on there. This is going to be some figures coming from Age of the Primes. Skyguard, Breakaway, Alpha Bravo, and Wild Rider. Alpha Bravo was like a character that was kind of made up back in the Combiner Wars era where he was added. You could use him as a limb on your Superion. Which, I didn't like that back then. But because you didn't get the other limb till later, and he was real expensive, hard to get to make a standard one. So that I didn't like that. But now they're doing it the right way, I think. You get everything pretty easy for your Superion, and then later you can just get an Alpha Bravo to add on if you want to or not, or you can just get a cool helicopter. But 2 points. I've already talked about this, and as you know, I don't like rehashing too much stuffs. But I will say this is still up for limited time pre-sale. And so it's as much as I've gone over this with 4 or 5 people now, the price is actually pretty good. Even though, you know, the old price for these Seekers was $30 each to make it $120. Now they're $43 each to make it $170. $150 is right in the middle. I think it's good, and it's good to get them all in one shot. Not have to chase them down and run around. Okay, that's cool. Now, they said they still have Tetra Jets from the Siege era that they plan to put out in the future. So, throw that little nugget out there. And then we got the Deluxe G1 Red Alert. Now, the thing is that when you move his arm, it's going to be a full arm in there, and the side door is going to stay where it is, kind of like with all the other red alerts in, you know, third party or G1. Actually, the G1 did it, and so it is I believe a heavy retool. I don't know if it's made from the ground up completely, but at least a retool, if not completely redone from the ground up. Red alert. Then this is just a straight up reissue of Alucon. Now, I'm okay with it. I don't have a problem with it. I think it's a great figure. It's cool. I'm glad you get an opportunity to get it. The only thing is, I wish they would have changed some coloring or something about it. Instead of a straight up reissue, make it a little bit different. Those of us who bought it for $20 back in the day got a better deal on it than $28 today. But I would have liked, give an incentive for those of us that already have it, because although I'm getting rid of a lot of my Hasbro stuff, I keep everything that third-party Masterpiece hasn't made yet. And so I've kept this. And I would consider buying another one. If it's slightly different color, do something different with it a little bit. Not a straight-up reissue. But I don't really have problems. The difference is the packaging. I'm not concerned about that. Transformers with Shockwave. So it is different than the one that's on the shelf right now. So you can getting a new Shockwave there if you're interested in it. Oh, it's different than the one that turns into a whale. And then we've got Wheelie. You knew we were going to get him. Wheelie, Walmarts are selling out of that thing. I don't know. Some people live in like land of plenty where they're just stacked. But around these parts, like they got one restock that I saw at Walmart's. And I grabbed me one. Mostly because I like the packaging. So I'm not interested in this one. But the one in the retro packaging, I did grab it. It's a good looking figure. It's a great looking figure. I was going to get one for my son too. And he's like, I've got the old Willie. It's fine. Okay. This is a deluxe IDW Nautica. Which is, if you're into the IDW stuff, it's really cool to get that knocked out in the Studio Series. Get that banged out. Get another character. Now we got Dinobot Swoop. I think that it's almost like, hey, do you still have the Swoop tooling in the machine? Yeah, let's just run it again. I know you just delivered them a few months ago, but it's what it feels like. It feels like they just made this one. It's really weird how they're reissuing these, but Swoop, it's gonna have a package refresh too. But I think the last Swoop didn't have the plastic in it. I think it was like a wide open box. They completely redid all the packaging as they made each one of these, and they don't really line up. I think Slag and Grimlock are the only two that line up exactly, and then Sludge and Snarl, I guess, kind of line up too. But and then this is odd man out with not having the tiny opening and no plastic. But anyway, it's going to be a package refresh. I think they're missing the opportunity. They could have done the red chest one here. Why not? Why couldn't we get the red chest one? It is Studio Series, but again, why not? This is Leader Class Megatron. So this is kind of what confused me a little bit about. We saw this earlier, but it was actually Prime in third party. The last night Megatron, and my understanding is he didn't turn into this Dragon Beast thing in the movie, but again, I don't know. I've only watched last night once. I never went back and watched it again. Not that it's bad or anything, it's just time. I only have so much time in the day. How do y'all create more time? This is that picture of the AoE Scorn again. No need to really go into that. I've debated whether or not I was going to slip this picture in when I was talking about all the other ones, but just to keep things linear, now I want to show what the Alpha Bravo looks like. It's a pretty good looking figure. Yes, he's got some gaps in the under thigh, but I think overall looks better than the Combiner Wars one, but still very similar to in a way. And guess what? They still Combiner Wars legs down, so I guess that's it's cool. Another thing. George Lucas is right. Everything rhymes. Then we got another Monster Jam Optimus Prime. I don't think this thing actually transforms though, because I haven't seen any pictures of it. And looking at it, I don't see any transformation points. And then we've got, I think there's 2 of these. So this one here is Grim. So it's I'm losing my spot here. Grim he's all right. Yeah, it's the only picture I got. But yeah, he transformed. He looks better than the kitty one. That's all I gotta say. And showing Willy in the package. Willy in the package. And that's what's expected. I'm looking at it and I'm wondering, are they going back to no plastic? I usually put the stuff at the end, but it's kind of like right in the middle of my slides here, so just gonna keep it going. Keep it going on. Keep on keeping on. And somewhere in this apology tour at the end of one of the movies, there's going to be the mid-credit scene or after-credit scene. And the thing is that they are going to reveal a new character that's part of the 1986 movie. I'm not exactly sure how they're going to do that. Maybe I just misunderstood what they were saying. See, if they're going to reveal a new character, was it in the background of the movie, or just, hey, there's going to be a credit scene like after the movie ended and everyone was celebrating and all this stuff, a new character shows up and it's like an extension of the movie. I don't know. It'll be interesting to see. I'm sure once it comes out, it'll be all over the internets. Transformers Age of the Prime, Skyguard, and Breakaway, and Megatron. Official stock images. I think I have another picture. The very next picture is going to be those dudes on the left. But we'll worry about that in the next picture. But Megatron turning into a Decepticon symbol. At this point, duh. If they did the Autobot symbol with Prime, they're going to do this. So, not a big deal. We're going to see probably a ton of pictures of this coming. Not much different than what they did before with the Autobot symbol. Okay, this here is the Sky team, the Age of the Prime's Nexus Prime limbs. So it's Sky. And very closely related to the Aerial Bots, the Superion, in my opinion. But kind of cool looking if you're into picking all that fun stuff up. Last little bit of Transformers news. I wasn't even going to comment on this, but NFL Transformers Wave 2 is out of retail, but everywhere. Number 1, is this going to show up? In clearance, $17. The price that I was told the next clearance price for the ones at the Walmarts is $12.58. So that's just the way it is. That's what I understand. So is it worth $12.58? I think they are. I think it's pretty cool. Is it worth the 26 or 30 or whatever they're charging? I don't think so. And then I saw them at Target, full price, like $26 at Target. And I'm like, oh, but you can get them at Walmart for $17. That's kind of a shady deal, but Target does the same thing to other retailers, so oh well. All right, so I guess I'm going to get into my recap mode real fast so that we can get into some news. Some olds. But Dino's going to come. It's happening. Fred and Barney are out. Jada's got them. The Fruity Pebbles, they can just pull off whatever they want. They can make any character they want now, basically, in this. Because they said they can make Wilma and Betty, but these have to sell well enough. And frankly, I just don't see that they do. They don't look to be selling out on BBTS. It's a problem when they do this. If they were to have shown, like, even renders or something of Betty and Wilma, I think, and Pebbles and Bam Bam, I think that more people would be apt to jump in on buying these. But and the fact that nobody's concerned they're going to sell out, half the collectors are probably waiting to get them at Ross. Yeah, and I'm right there with you. I know I would rather get them at Ross too. I haven't pre-ordered these yet. I'm part of the problem, but I personally don't think it's going to happen for anything past these. And they said that their Mega Man stuff's on hold, so everything Mega Man, nothing new. That's it. So it's all on hold, which means they're done with it. Jada's also doing a pretty good job with this. More monsters than I thought they would. They revealed the Headless Horseman and the zombie this weekend. Is it really the weekend when they revealed it? And then Fred. And then they said there's one more. Who's missing from the team? Is it Velma? And then 2 more monsters. So who will they be? Nobody knows. Because there's still like 20 more monsters they can make. But then again, it all depends on sales. And this stuff doesn't seem to be selling well. I didn't see any new Street Fighter reveals. But the head pack, the beat up head pack sold out. Look how tall T-Hawk is back there. That is a beast. That is gonna be a beast. I'm looking forward to that. It's only like $35 for that big old figure. Pretty cool. And then we've got these other Street Fighter characters they're working on, which are a little foreign to me. I mean, like, I know of them, of the ones on the left, the ones on the right. I have no idea, but they're new. I think I read their names yesterday, but that's what's coming. I mean, seriously, the sales of what's in this picture have to be drastically, well, not Ryu, but drastically lower than anything else that they're making. Then we have the Incredibles, and so the reason I'm recapping this is because there's more stuff coming. So you get to see what they had shown before, but then they showed this dude in a cloak. So that's the difference. And that's what they do. They add to it as Sdcc goes on the next day, so you have reason to come back, build the excitement. Who's gonna be there? What's it gonna be? What's it all about? It's a lot of stuff for G.I. Joe, but Thunder Machine is not going to be a HasLab. It's going to be a made-to-order. I'm guessing 150. I wish it was under 100, but the Thrasher's coming separate, and so there's a lot to all that. Most of the rest of the presentation was stuff we've seen. It's just updates, like you get to see pictures, renders, and random pictures they took off the internet about character names and stuff, but for the most part, we've seen most of that. It wasn't really all that informative. Anyway, I covered most of this in the other video. I do want to point out that next year's retro is going to be 87 movie stuff. So probably Globulous next year, not this year. Now, Mondo did talk about some other Ghostbuster stuff I'm not going to get quite into right now. But I will say, you've only got 2 days to order this set. $365. So if you don't order this set, $365, I don't know what the aftermarket's going to be. I went ahead and ordered it. I put it on the what you call it, the shop pay thing. So I do my installment pay. Times are not as easy as you would think. It's a great set, and it's really this can get forgotten about with all the SDC stuff going on. Easy to forget about this. 365 makes them less than 100 each, and you get different stuff with this than the other releases. But you get them all in one shot. You don't have to like space out. Because I still don't even have them all yet. I don't even have them all yet. If you want to get this 2-pack of Janine and Tully, they're up right now. Also, the Ectoglow stuff goes up. It's saying 16-day countdown, 15 days, something countdown. So, July 10th. And, yeah, that's the Ghostbusters. There's also $89 ooze containers that contain small plastic ghosts. $90. All right, so we've got a new direction for Masters of the Universe, and with that, they look cool. They're far from classic, and sort of futuristic in a way. Like, they're going for a futuristic look with the vehicle there, and there's a lot of functionality to it. I don't really understand all of it, what it all does, but we'll see that when it's released. But the thing is that this is like a test. Like, they're testing this, going in a new direction, and then still going in another new direction with Origins. Okay, so what I found out with this reboot Origins is that they're trying to match the card art on the back of the original cards. If I had time, I'd give you the boardroom presentation. So how can we make these suckers buy a fifth fifth line of He-Man. Oh, well, hey, say we're basing it off the card backs and slightly just change a head and a couple pieces, things here and there. But, you know, what really falls down is that He-Man doesn't have his cross. He has the H. And so that really falls apart. Like, that excuse, I believe that excuse kind of falls apart. But anyway, it's just my belief. Syndicate Toys showed off this Inspector Gadget. I think it looks really good for what it is. I think it is like in a 1/12 scale. I know Blitzway did theirs, but the big question was what's going to go in the empty slot next to it, because they had another acrylic case the size of this, but then we saw this, which is like 5 times the size of that, and Fliptastic Flipor stuffs in there, and so there it is. That's Wave 2 of Flipor, if you're in on it. In all reality, the Wave 2 stuff looks way cooler than the Wave 1 stuff. Wave 1 was pretty much just the same figure, just recolored. And now there's elements of the first figure, but different stuff. Fun. Alright, so we got some stuff from Syndicate Collectibles, and I'm just going to go through it. We're going to see Army of Darkness in a bit. Megan, Project Hail Mary, Happy Death Day, Killer Clown. I think this is Happy Death Day, I'm not 100% sure. Pink Panther, and I think these are all 1/18th or 3.75 inch, maybe 4 inch. I don't have any of them. I don't own any of them, so it'd be nice. I'd like the Pink Panther, though. I'd like to see the card backs. Packaging. Then there's Futurama. Now, these don't look articulated at all. They look more like statues, little staction figures, if that's what you're into. Then this is Killer Clowns from Outer Space. Yeah, I saw that. Saw that one coming. No, I didn't. And then this is obviously the Army of Darkness line. My brother was really big into Army of Darkness. I got him a figure too, a long time ago. It was a really big figure. It was pretty cool. And came with guns, stuff like that. Now to go in for some wrestling. Now, as you guys know, I don't know a lot about the wrestling stuff, but I know enough to read Mattel, WWE, and AAA wrestling figures over 180 photos on it. I'm not showing that many. I saw this photo. I thought it was pretty cool. And then this here is kind of the retro line that they're doing. These are the LJNs, because you can look and you can see it says LJN on the back. I got 2-packs for the 2-pack team, and then is it Cindy Lauper? I always get her and Tiffany confused, but Cindy Lauper, that kind of helped bring wrestling back from the brink. This is my understanding of the story. So cool that she gets figured. This is interesting. I actually saw these at a Target, and I thought, these are way bigger than I thought. That's way bigger than I thought they were. Then there's a whole bunch of other stuff that I know it's all event specific kind of stuff they have. That's what the wrestler collectors like, event specific stuff. And, you know, because in the fantasy world, everybody wears the same clothes all the time. So Loyal Subjects was there selling their mask stuff. Pretty cool that it's going on. I was hoping for updates. Maybe they would say, hey, we're going to do carded figures soon. We're going to follow the same as the original finish, which is kind of what they've been doing. So I would expect that they get all the exact same 2-packs. And then we start seeing some of the adventure packs and stuff. And I'd like that. I'd buy that. Run through some Simpsons stuff. So it's really weird that all this stuff is coming at the end. And so what Jax did was they would sucker you in with the $35 price. Or not $35, the $13 price. Now all that's left are $26 figures that they're putting out. It was Fat Tony. The Chosen One. You're the Chosen One! What is he, in Star Wars now? But Homer, the Chosen One. 5-inch collectible figure. You already paid $26 for that. Now I'm ready to pay what I paid, what, $13 on clearance at Target, which I guess Target's not getting to get these anymore. I assume if you clearance all of them out that showed up, you're not getting them anymore. But maybe some will still show up, and I'll get the rest of these for $13 each. Full Moon Base, Werewolf, Tree Horse of Howard, Werewolf, Ned Flanders, Tree House of Horrors, Tree Horse of Howard, Tree House of Horrors, Grim Reaper Homer. Shout out to one of the longest running shows. Treehouse of Horror Vampire Krusty Homer. Homer as Krusty the Clown as a vampire. Treehouse of Horror Stretch Dude Bart. So it's like Stretch Armstrong, except he's Bart. And 10 inches tall. And still 10 years old. After all these years, he's still 10 years old. Oh, wait. I heard he just celebrated his 11th birthday last season. Treehouse of Horrors Donut Head Homer Roto Plush 9-inch tall. 9 inches. Then Santa Homer 9 inches tall. Soft plush body, but a hard-headed Homer. That sounds about right. Alright, let's just jump over to Playmates. What do they got left with no turtles? Well, this is going to be a nice segue since they don't have turtles anymore. Who else doesn't have turtles? This is their Kickstarter for their... whatever they're called. It's Dragon Zord. There it is. I was gonna call it Megazord. It's Dragon Zord, and that's what I gotta say about that. I don't know. It launches or funding August 18th, delivering by May of 2027, and I don't believe they need to do this, but they're doing it, so it is what it is. I guess their Megazord didn't go as well as they planned. All right. I'm going to touch on this point again because of the fact that the Turtle license is going to be gone from... I didn't hear it directly from Super 7, but I had heard Super 7's losing it at the end of this year. I did hear that, well, straight from NECA, that what's being shown at this event is it. It's over. It's done. It's all over, man! I was going to get that voiceover in here. I don't have enough time. But... It's over. I don't want to say it's sad. It's been a good run. Like they're cannibalizing themselves going forward. They keep just putting out the same stuff they've already put out, and who's buying all of it, and who's buying it twice, 3 times, 5 times, and Punk Turtles in different colorations and this kind of stuff. But I did get the Sailor Raph. I don't know what's going on with Joy Toy. It's a possibility just because Joy Toy is not for the U.S. market. They could continue. I don't know. We'll find that out. Super 7 is also doing their 4-pack of Turtles. I don't have the picture right here, but they glow in the dark. It's their exclusive. I don't know if BBTS is going to get it because that's where I'd like to get it from, not Super 7. Then the Visionaries do have holograms. The Super 7 highlights here. Highlights reel. Best of Super 7. They look great. They've done it right. Brian said he went back and forth on the scale. Like, should we try to match the vintage? But ultimately, everything they've done, including Silverhawks, to everyone's dismay, were done in the 3.75. And I'm okay with it because you already have these in the vintage, so you don't really need the vintage ones remade exactly the same. And get the opportunity to put them next to your Joes. So I'm cool with the scale. And cool with the gimmick, with the holograms. Then we've got the Astral Moat Monster, $195. It's big figure, so it's not gonna be a vinyl figure. It's gonna be an actual action figure, and that's a lot of money. But he's towering over Mumra, so we'll see. We'll see what else he comes with. Super 7 also had a Trouble Bubble at BBTS for the 1/18th scale. Okay, getting into Star Wars, because I need to wrap this up. Star Wars Black Series, Ahsoka, Tano, and ARC Trooper, Jesse. There's the 2-pack, if you're into it. I didn't quite catch the pricing, but I guess I could. Alright, it says it's available on Pulse. $55 for the 2-pack, August 20th. Pre-order on August 20th. That's crazy. That is crazy. And none of this stuff's in order. And all this stuff is... Alright, I'm just gonna go through this. Gar Saxon, which is kind of looking like a different... It's like a different tribe within the Mandalorian group of people. Looks pretty cool. Then we got Icarus from Shadow Lord, Maul Shadow Lord, Icarus figure. Is it Maul's nephew? I don't know. I don't know. Mandalorian Super Commando Gibrus, which kind of looks like the guy that was that had passed away. That was in one of the shows, but sad. It was sad that he passed away. Mother Talzin. Man, it just reminds you how life is fleeting, right? You're watching a show, and the next thing you know, dude's passed away. And they had to figure out a way around the rest of the series, the next season. Rada the Hutt for... This is pretty much exactly how Jabba's Black Series packaging looked. So, don't get too creative, guys. Don't go out of your way or anything. It is what it is. Then we got Vintage Collection, so we get into the Vintage Collection. This is the Anakin Skywalker Anakin. Padawan. The 8th Anakin they've made in this line, I believe. Maybe the 9th. Then Attack of the Clones. Battle Droid, B1 Battle Droid. I think it's just fully the coloration. At first I thought the head was different, but it's just the angle. So, maybe the accessories? No. I think this is the coolest thing. It's $52, but it's the INT-4 Interceptor with Remnant Warlord. I could do without the Remnant Warlord and just get the vehicle like the olden days, but they don't do that. They want a $51 cash grab you. You know, these were these mini rigs came about so they were like $5. So figure is $2. For a little more, you get a vehicle. That's not, you're having to shell out $30. You can get a vehicle for $5. Mini rigs. That's why everyone had mini rigs, because they were cheap. No kids are getting this for $51. Nor do they want it. But it was in the movie, show. Obi-Wan Kenobi. I think I have one like this, but his hair is different. So they changed his hair. And he has the high ground. Then they've got the Vintage Collection version of Rada the Hutt. And there he is for the Mandalorian Grogu movie. And then Super Battle Droid, which I like. Super Battle Droid, pretty cool. I don't really see how it's a whole lot better than the one they made back in the original one they made back in the 90s or 2003 or something. I don't see it a whole lot better, but it's kind of interesting. Is it $20 versus the $5 they were back then? I don't know. Vintage Collection X-Wing fighter with Luke Skywalker with the Kenner colors. $140. That's a lot of bones getting. You might be able to get an actual vintage one in an opened box for that price. But this is bigger. Yeah, that's kind of crazy if you ask me. Then we got some other weird stuff going on here. We got Imbu and Kibu for $60 in this Black Series. This is kind of strange. The packaging is strange. But it is kind of interesting how you can see the figure in there. And it's a bigger set. It's 60 bones. And then what else we got here? We've got what appears to be a thermal detonator. I swear they made a generic transformer that was like a clock but looked like a thermal detonator, but it wasn't an actual transformer. It was a generic knockoff, and it looked like a lot like a thermal detonator. And my friend had one. It wasn't mine, but if I knew exactly what that was called, it'd be fun trip down memory lane. But yeah, I don't think this does anything. Lights, sounds, and then we've got a mask. So, no helmet, Kenner helmet, Hasbro helmet. So all the stuff they were showing. So we saw the X-wing. We saw the. This is the Enoch helmet. The thermal detonators for Bouch. Then Imbo and Kibu 2-pack. We saw all that. Well, anyways, let me know what you think about this weekly news and review. Is there anything else cool at Sdcc I missed? Because I couldn't cover it all. There's stuff I just didn't talk about. Let me know in the comments. Like, subscribe. Titanium Hanger out.